Welcome to another episode of Class Haven Farms. So what do we got going on today? Well, today we need to get our Christmas tree down off the truck and get it in the house. So stay tuned and see how we take a live tree in a pot and use it as a Christmas tree. If this is your first time here at the channel, welcome. My name is Andy and this is Class Haven Farms. So as you can see from the title, today we are talking about a Christmas tree that you can replant. Last night, Chicken Whisperer and I went out to a local nursery and picked up this Christmas tree that is in a pot that we will replant when Christmas is done. This is something that we've been doing for a number of years, and it will be fun to do it here. So that way we can start establishing some trees here on the new property. If this is something that you're interested in, the first thing I'm going to tell you is it's very labor intensive. This tree is not light. You need to be able to have some means to be able to move it. That's not to discourage you, but just know this isn't something as simple as taking out that artificial out of the bag, setting it up, fluffing it, and then decorating it, or going down to one of your local Optimist clubs or something like that and buying a live tree that was cut down and putting it up. But I will say this, I think you get a better return on something like this. So for example, this tree, I was looking at them last night when Chicken Whisperer and I were at the nursery, and a tree like this that's not, doesn't still have the roots attached to it, was running about $85, right? So if you think about it, $85, and then a month and a half later, you chuck that thing in the woods, you take it to the dump, you maybe have a big bonfire with it, whatever, but that's it, you're done. Where this one, you get to replant it and you get to watch it grow. So the cool thing about this is the kids and I get to have Christmas and celebrate it in front of this tree. And then we are done, we get to plant it here on the property somewhere and then watch it grow. And then it's something you can always think about. Hey, that was the first tree that we had. Later on, years down the road, when you have grandkids and your grandkids come over, you can point at that tree and say, yep, when your mom and dad were little, that was our first Christmas tree. So it's kind of a sentimental thing, and it's something cool that you can share with your kids. That's the one cool thing about Christmas. I mean, it's something that you want to celebrate. You want to create new traditions, share old traditions, things like that. And this is one way to do it. So what we're doing now is when I run over, jump up on the 790, start this bad boy up, put the bolt-on pallet forks on there, and go get us a pallet and get the metal pan that we're going to put this tree in. So let's go. All right, so I got the galvanized pan down here in the barn. We'll go down here and grab it. So that's something that you're going to want. You're going to want a galvanized pan, whether it's in a planter bucket like you saw in the beginning, or if it's just has the burlap sack around it. You want a pretty decent size galvanized bucket, something big that you can set this tree in. So that's something else that you need to think about. Being able to have something like this, somewhere you can store it. The pallet, the reason why I'm getting the pallet and putting that on the forks is because that will help getting this thing off the truck. So the game plan is to try to drop that tree in this galvanized bucket, and it's a lot easier to do it while it's on a pallet on the forks as opposed to just doing it on the forks, because as you can see, it's not extremely wide, but the pallet will help hold it. So let's go get this thing set up underneath the tailgate of the truck and try to slide it off. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm trying to get this bucket as close as I possibly can to the tailgate of the truck, because it's just me. I don't have anybody here to help me guide this thing in. It's going to have a pretty decent drop going into the galvanized pan, but if I can try to minimize it as much as I can here, that's what I want to try to do. And I'm going to bump RPMs up a little bit, just so when I go to put it in there, the hydraulics don't fall on the face. Guess I could bring it in a little bit more. I will say that's probably the one thing that is the downfall about these bolt-on buckets, is that you can't see through, or I'm sorry, bolt-on pallet forks, you can't see through the bucket to see how close you are to here. So I'm going to try to come in a little bit more. And also cheat too and bring this here. I need to drop her down just a little tiny bit. The good thing is, if you crack the bucket, it's not that big of a deal, but you definitely don't want to bust your pan up. Might have to come up from the top. She's going to be heavy though. I'm definitely not going to be able to hold her going in there, but once she goes, she's going to go. There she went. The good thing about it when you do it on the forks like that is it bounces. So it doesn't crack the pan up because it gives it some give. Woo! Live action. So, as you can see, it's a little bit more labor intensive. Don't bounce off of there, hitting the roots on this old maple tree in the front yard. Now, you can do this with a bunch of friends to help move it around. The guys that loaded it on my truck last night, instead of using a forklift, I had like 3 or 4 of them and they just picked it up. Now, I want to show you guys something with this bucket. It's hard to see. You can't see through it, so it's definitely hard can see how close I am to the platform going in the front door. Basically what I'm going to try to do is get that pallet pretty much even with this, so I can take that hand truck, that appliance dolly on the dock here, and basically just go right underneath it. Not everybody has what I have here, so again, if you're looking at doing something like this, and this is also me doing it by myself. All right, let's see what that looks like. So definitely looks pretty good. Kind of give you guys an idea before I get inside. You see how big this pan is. I have plenty of room. Some of you may be asking, well, why are you worried about putting a pan on there? Why can't you just use the black bucket that it's in? Well, the black bucket has holes in the bottom, so when you go to water it, you're going to want to water this thing. You don't want all that water running through your floor, so that's why I use the pan. So what I have here is I have a appliance dolly. I picked up that at Harbor Freight. I used to borrow a buddy of mine, but I kind of felt bad because I was always borrowing it. And, that thing went on sale this summer at Harbor Freight, so I ended up picking it up. So the game plan is to slide this off. The cool thing about this appliance dolly is that it actually has this lever. You might not be able to see it. It has this lever here that you can drop down, which is perfect for grabbing something like this. So I'll set you guys up here. Now, one thing that I try to do is I try to look at the tree to see what's the best side to put in the corner, because when I drop this, I'm going to drop it in the corner. So you kind of want to walk around it, see if you got any holes, anything that you don't want to be seen. So I think I'm pretty good because this front side actually looks pretty decent. But that's, when you're doing this, it's something that you want to think about before you go pick this thing up. So we're pretty good. I'm going to take these straps, run these straps around the top and the bottom, just so that we don't have to worry about it falling that way, and then we'll bring it in the house. All right, so we got this thing all strapped on. The nice thing that I do like about this appliance cart, it doesn't have the ratcheting straps on it, which for me are probably a good thing, because I don't know about you guys, but I tend to tighten down on stuff way more than I should. I want this pan to slide back a little bit more, but I don't know that it will. There we go. Awesome. Cradled it perfect. Now we just got to get it in the building. Woo! Better eat your Wheaties on that one. Now, once it's in the house with this appliance cart, it's nice and easy. Hopefully I don't knock you guys down on the tripod. And we might have to move the TV, because this joker is a little wider than last year's tree. That's all right. Yeah, I have to move the tree a little bit. All right. Not too bad. I'll leave this thing hooked up until I get everything moved around. But yeah, be mindful. Think about how tall your tree is or where you're coming in. Obviously, with this having the root ball attached, the taller it is, the heavier it is. So that will kind of help you gauge whether you want to really mess with a big tree or not. This actually is a little taller than what I would normally do. I would like to do one that is a little under my height, but this one was a nice fill. I think it'll look good where I want to plant it. So that's something else that you need to think about with that tree. Yes, you have it here in the house for a month and a half or however long. For us, it's going to be about a month. But that's only for a month. You're going to have it where you're going to plant it for a lot longer. So, all right. Thanks for watching. I know this might be a little something different, but I thought with Christmas coming around, and this is not something that everybody does. It's always hard for us to find root ball trees. The place that we used to get them from, they went out of business, and their sister company are just ridiculously priced, and their quality is not good. The one we got from them last year ended up dying, and just a whole ordeal. So we just went with a whole new nursery to try a new setup, and I really like the look of this tree. So that's it. You like this kind of stuff? Follow us along. As I've said numerous times, I'm just a single dad starting over after divorce, and just trying to provide for my family the best way I can. And if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe and follow us along. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.